I let's pull the volume. Something like this. What is causing strange? Doesn't matter. So yeah, it's been a couple of days since I streamed last. It's been a weekend. Friday I was supposed to stream, but instead I made burgers, smash burgers with my brother, which were really good. Weekend I haven't done a lot. I did some tweaking on the character, which I tweeted about, and people seem to really like. So yeah, more or less added a cloth sim cape. Which I think looks pretty good, and then I did a little bit of work on the character. But not a whole lot. Game still runs. Hey, what's up? Haven't even committed this yet. Nice. So what are your ideas? Dogs of War. That's good. Catch it up. So yeah, I guess we're gonna work more on the character and all the enemies and stuff, but I feel like doing something fun today. And one of those things could be to work on the proc gen of the levels, because they're really plain now. Like, yeah, there are walls. There's nothing in these rooms. And I mean, both the layouts are a little bit boring. I want to make them a little bit more interesting, and like add some stuff around the walls, like place like boxes in corners, so you gotta shoot them before, so you're world feels a little bit more lived in. What are these rooms? Why are they? Maybe put little grates on the floor, or any amount of things like that. And I'm thinking about how I would do that. Previously, for the Boomerang game, I made this system which I think could be adapted. potentially I'll just redo it again, like for the third time. It doesn't really matter at this point. It's a pretty fast thing, and it might be hard to do that. But generally speaking, let's see here. There's some enemies my kid wants me to do. These are some flying enemies with big swords. But the whole deal is the world is made up of a bunch of squares. Hello, Rob. And some of them are going to be walls, so I'm just going to fill those walls in. And then if I want to place like I want to place, let's say, a box in this corner. Or maybe along a wall or something, or maybe not along a wall. I could like imagine this other grid, which is like the same thing. It's like here it needs to be like open. I could set the size of this grid. So if it's like this, and then all these need to be open, and then I can put in whatever thing I want in the center, and then I'll just spawn that as a prefab. This way I can also do things like, if I wanted to do bigger wall segments, I could do that, and then I'll say like this needs to be filled in, and this out here needs to be void or whatever. Hey, Isaacson, how are you doing? They did add the accurate category. Yeah, that's cool. So I've been rating this guy whose handle is like Go Pirate Software or Go Pirate Games, something like that. And he's been advocating for this a long time, right? And it seems like since the 2 times I've rated him, it's actually happened, which is pretty fun. So I think like I hope it might be that. It's also weird that it's combined with or I don't know. I don't have an opinion on. It's software development and game development. But I think, yeah. Or not, maybe added / returned, because it used to be there. Let's see. We'll see what happens if I get any additional viewers, or if it drops off. I'm not entirely sure what happens. I don't necessarily care. But anyway, so this kind of template blueprint system could be used for the walls. It could be used for various things. My levels are also symmetric, which is something that I might want to take into account with this. But yeah. Oh, Isaacson, thank you so much. All hail the great Okay, so currently I'm doing something very different for this, but I might convert everything into this system. Like I do auto tile like thing for the walls. September, I didn't know that was a thing. Great, happy September! Thank you so much. All the love. So to make this, we want to abstract this whole thing, I would say, into a couple of concepts. Like to have it needs to be like a template or a blueprint, whatever I want to call it, that lives either in the scene or in a prefab, and then we get a list of those, and then we try to apply them in some sort of order on top of everything, on every position, and then try to like exit out early so it's pretty quick. So we're gonna need an editor for the tile map, or rather, we want to have our own tile map that we create from the ProcGen, and then we want to reuse so we can kind of test different scenarios by just clicking. I'm just thinking out loud here, something where we can edit the blueprint and the tile map in the same kind of way, and I think that would be really useful. And I wonder, like, let's build this in a separate. Should we start a separate project for this? Should we copy over things from the Boomerang game? I'm not sure. Yeah, let's just create a separate. The problem I'm seeing with doing it in this project is simply that it's gonna take a bit to, like, every time I change something, it's gonna take a while to recompile it, and it's gonna be a little bit annoying. But at least let's start in here. Maybe if it gets too annoying, I'll move it to a separate thing. But we have this level generation thing that doesn't really have anything in it. So let's start here. So we have a generation folder that doesn't contain anything. Let's call this like tile grid. Make it a mono behavior. And this is gonna be what we edit. And then we'll add like events for when not the events, maybe callbacks for when it changes. And then we'll have another thing that runs the different things on top of it. But first let's just try to hey, thanks, Pine. The question is, what data type do we use for the tiles? I think ints. So one thing that I find really useful while editing is to not care too much about like efficiency in the first place. So I'm gonna start with a tile map is just a list. Let's see here. At this stage, like, am I gonna have wall or do I need different types? Because if I don't need different types, it can either be a tile is set or a tile is unset, and then I can just have a list of positions, vector 2 ints, and then I can just check if things are in that list, or I can make it like a dictionary between the tile, the int, like position and an int, and then I get both best of both worlds. I cannot serialize dictionaries, so I'll have to do a serializer, deserializer thing, but that's fine. And this is also mostly when editing, so it's also not necessarily needed to be fast at this point. As long as what I am working with runtime at the later stages, let's start simple. It's gonna be vector 2 int. Save and import this. No! My script is gone. Damn it. So let's draw things on local position in the grid. I'm just thinking about how to do this. So I think we do like gizmos dot matrix equals transform dot local to world. That way it will just work, I think. Hello, goofball. Yeah. I'm definitely keeping going with this. I'm feeling like I'm gonna use this kind of thing a lot. So my thinking is I'll add a util, vector 2 utils. Vector 2 int utils, CS. And this is gonna be a public static class. Public static. This is an extension class. I don't remember how to do it, but it's C# extension method. It's not hard. It's just like this blah blah blah. You do this vector 2 v, and then you return something. So now I can do like, instead of doing this, we'll just do v3 on it. So vector, no, gizmos, draw wire cube. The center is gonna be position vector 3. And the size is gonna be vector 3, 1. And the color is gonna be something. Let's start with yellow. So I have a meeting at 11:30. So we'll work at this for maybe an hour, a little longer than an hour. Monster? Monster white is the only thing that's decent. I actually drink the blue Ultra Fiesta version too. You should. It's a good thing. So tile, what do we call this? We have errors. But maybe we call it as vector 3, and just remember we could have a getter. I think you can do like an extension getter. I'm tempted to try that. Can we try it? Public static vector 3. Do like a get. I don't know if you can do that actually. Oh well. Let's do this first before we dive into beautifying the code. Let's make it work. Grid, no, tile grid. Yeah. So we don't have any tile positions. Let's add 1, 0, 0, and this is it. And then we can add another one that's at 1 or something. This is going to be our tile map. Let's calculate. Actually, in the boomerang one, we actually did like manual size on top of this. So maybe we'll add buttons later to recalculate to fit or whatever, but also just to able to drag the size. Then we don't have to care too much about the like missing pieces of this, and we can also like limit you from drawing outside. I think this will be useful this way. So let's try it. Let's go get a size 2. Public vec 2 int size. Let's say this one is 3, 3. I think that's probably nice. And then we draw this too afterwards. So draw another wire cube. The position of this is going to be size as vector 3 times 0.5. Is what I'm thinking. And the size is going to be size as vector 3. So yeah, I think that will work. Cache that value. It's also going to be like at the center of these. Yeah. So I think we want to offset these by 0.5. We could do vector 2 int 1 dot as vector 3 times 0.5. It's not the most efficient way, but let's call this offset. It's gonna be good enough. Now these should pop inside of this thing here. Let's make the color cyan. Cool. So you can change the size. It looks correct when it moves. I don't see a good reason to offset this, but it could maybe be good if I figure that, let's say I draw a wall here. We'll see. Let's make the editor now and see exactly how we're going to handle other things. Editor, and then we create a new editor for tile grid editor. Mono behavior, but it's not going to be a mono behavior. It's going to be tile, or it's going to be inspector or something. Is it called? It's an editor, okay. I made an add-on that automatically added the stuff to the project file, so I don't have to tab into Unity like that. But that seemed to have broken when I upgraded. Probably just overwrote it, which sucks because I think I lost the source code through that. But whatever, let's not get mired in that. So how do we do this? We say custom editor for type of tile grid. Now we override on inspector. Let's call on inspector GUI. Let's check this. Yep, and then you call base inspector GUI. We're not necessarily needing this. Right now, but then there's the other one, which is see if I have anything like that. Probably don't actually in this project. But I think it's called on scene GUI. And I think this one is not an override. Is it like this? Check Unity on scene GUI. Here it is, and then you can do things with the handles class. Yes. So when we're in here, we want to get the mouse position. So we can probably do input dot get mouse. No, it's called like event dot current dot mouse position. And then if we're really this returns the mouse position in screen space, which means we can actually turn this into a world thing. But since I already did a lot of this before, let's reference the code base for the Boomer project. I need to take like a day off and just fix all my tools, like that thing. And my window managers stopped. It stopped crashing a lot, but it's stopping working for a while. This is a bit old, but let's see here. Editor, dumb tile map editor. So this more or less is the thing that we want. We can do a lot. We can just copy a lot of this, I think. Position handle. It does undo. Yeah, let's copy this and go through it to see what we need to do. So it's not going to be a dumb tile map. It's called grid. It's a tile grid, which is nice. There we go, and then this uses a bounce. Instead of the size. Let's take it one thing at a time. So like here is the changing of the size. Let's get rid of that. So now we don't need to take that into account. Yeah, this one has a lot of like specific stuff in it. Tile grid transform local world matrix. That sounds good. And then we do GUI point to world ray on the event current mouse position. And then we calculate the actual mouse position in tile space, I would say. Let's add some comments. Work in local. Get mouse position in local space. Local tile space, actually, because I think it's calculating it to no, it is get mouse position in world space, and then this is calculate mouse position in tile space. So I think that works, and then we have sort of what is this? The room container size, and then we check that we're inside of that size. What do we do with tile maps? Oh, we check all the tile maps. This is so we can edit multiple. And then we clamp the mouse position inside of those. So like, yeah, we don't need to do this necessarily. But we should do this later. But we definitely don't have like a room container, so that's not gonna work. Oh, it's actually only half the code. How did I miss copying stuff? Thought it looked a little bit short. Missed a little bit. Current tile. Marcus. Oh, this is current tile equals the current brush. Okay, so we're not really caring about that either. Also, this, to make it, we're using mouse position gives us this should be mouse position X and Z, I think, because now we're doing top down rather than that. And then this whole thing here is like whether or not we should add or remove. We don't have support for different tiles anymore, which we did in the other one. Save like where we put down the mouse and stuff. Right, we can support doing rects. Okay, so we need to remember where we put down the mouse position. So let's do that. We can just have a vector2 int mp down. And then we have recting current tile. We also have to have, in our case it's actually a bool, I think. Start that out as false. Yeah, so current tile is a bool. This is like, what do we want to put down? We read from the tile map a tile, and if it's already set, we do one thing, otherwise we do another. I'm gonna change this behavior. So more or less we're always gonna do, like if we do control click, we want to do one thing, I think. So we want to say current tile equals whether or not we press control, the inverted version. That's what I'm thinking, because we press control and then that's gonna remove stuff, otherwise we don't. Yeah. So this is begin erect. Not sure why I would like this. It's almost better to get rid of that. And then this creates the rectangle. And then wait, right, and then we want to set tile, current tile. We're gonna have to create these functions. So public bool get tile, vector to int, position, return, whether or not tile positions contains p. Public bool set tile, position and bool tile. So we just do like if get tile p and tile, it's already set, return. This should be a void. If get tile the Soundwire. It's a tile map editor, a simple one, so I can use it for placing props inside of, actually placing anything inside of my dungeon generator. This tile here could be like enable, or it's called tile. If it doesn't exist, we want to add it. So tile positions add p. So you're all gonna say I'm crazy for doing it this way with lists and adding and deleting, but it's just a lot easier in many ways. Wait, this should be removed. this to... So in theory, like the three, either if exists equals tile, no change is needed. No change needed. This is if remove or add. Right, I think that's true. And then see the editor. Well, this tile grid changed. And then we don't have this update tiles function, but let's create it. This is where we would fire off events to another system that kind of generates the map or whatever. In some cases we don't do anything, but this is the idea. So now there is a... Yep. Turns it off. So what is this? This is when we're dragging. And this is when? This is when we're not recting. I don't think we need that part. Just keep it simple first, and then we can add back. So if we're editing, we want to draw where the thing is. And if we're recting, we want to draw something that describes that thing. And this rect is what? It's a 2D rect, right? Can this take other stuff? Because it's gonna be flat. We want to have it like not flat to the screen, but flat to the XZ plane. This one can take verts. Okay, I think we can do this. So we want to do like new vector 2 int, no, vector 3 array, where the vertices are. I guess we should have 4 vertices, and then we can do color. We'll do yellow and white. We can get from the rect struct. We can get rect. So X is gonna be like this, and then Y is always gonna be 0. Let's do Y max. No, the first one is gonna be X min, Y min. And then the next one is going to be xmin y max. And then the next one is going to be xmin, x max, y max, and the last one is going to be x max, y min. If it's like done in that kind of way. I think this might work. It might work. I don't get what you're talking about, Soundwire. It's called Tile Grid Editor because it's an editor for the tile grid. Okay, so it seems like we don't have errors anymore, but see what happens. We copied a lot of this code from an earlier project, the boomerang thing. So when we're in, this seems mildly broken. But it does seem to be adding things like we'd expect, but the y-axis doesn't work. So this is gonna be, the plane is gonna be the direction of it, so it's gonna be up, and vector 3 0 is the center. I think that will work. No. So why is this not working? So it doesn't look like it's here the problem is. It's probably that we're doing something other stuff here. We're updating some kind of thing. Cube handle cap MP plus half. Yeah, this is not gonna work. Because MP is a vector. Yeah, let's just do as vector 3 on this and it should work, I think. Oh. Ambiguous. This half here, is that also a good reason why that's not a vector 3 with a 0 in the center? Well, won't you look at that? So now we can draw our little things, and if we're holding control or shift, we can delete things. You can like add or delete. It is annoying that we don't see the ones, like I would like to draw black squares in there first, so let's do that within the entire thing. So before we draw any tiles or whatever we do, we can do this in... I'm tempted to not do it in the draw gizmos part, but let's do it. So we can just do similar thing here for each var position in size all. No, we can't. It's not a bounds object. But we can create this. New vector 3 x0 y. But we want to draw these in black. So this draws on every position, regardless if there is anything, and then we just draw over that with the yellow afterwards. Because I'm not gonna be using it to draw tile maps. Also, Unity's tile maps with multiple tile maps. It's not gonna be fun. Now I can kind of activate things in here. If I want to do a wall, this is not for like doing tile maps. It's doing placement of stuff in a existing tile map. So I want to like define that I want to put a wall segment if I find this pattern, and then I could have like another one right next to it. I think I can select them, maybe. I gotta figure that one out, but more or less I can like select this one, and then we edit so this one has this shape, and I can kind of create things inside of it. Could you do it with Unity's tile maps? Probably. But I like being able to control things in a much easier way. The other part is, if I have this as objects here, I can like add, okay, I want to spawn a cube. Just position this in relation to what I have here. Say I wanted to make this wall, for example. I could just do this and we're done. And it's like, yeah, it should be here, but actually it should be up here. No, it's not individual. Like it's not this. Unity's tile maps suck. Like you have to have defined tiles for everything you want to do. Here I can like do other stuff in a much easier way. So it just fits in the system a lot easier. So the other part is changing the size here. I want to have this back here. So here we can change the size in different ways. We do like tile grid transform dot position plus the tile grid bound size, but we can change this to size and put in a I'm working on like making a more flexible system to decorate these walls. And yeah, the game is a spell slinger with like a Slay the Spire map. So you can kind of do this, and then you gain some money, and you can spend that in a shop, or you could like sacrifice health to get more money, make a build of like multiple things. Yes, now I'm getting to the shop. I only got 2. So like, yeah, I want to get some upgrade, or I could reroll, or I could sacrifice to... But cooldown speed is pretty good, so it makes me able to throw those faster. Thank you, paper. Yeah, so my latest thing is this kind of semi-pixel art, semi-3D thing with the player. Yeah, you should be able to do that. Let's go back to the level generation part. So we got the basics in here. I would like to be able to like click on this, and one easy way to do that is to draw. When I'm doing this, let's do a very faint version of this. If I do this, I can potentially draw the background on this. And then I think I can click it. So if I have 2 of these, I can like duplicate it and then just click somewhere, but it didn't work. Let's get rid of that. There is not really, but I can create one. Okay, now there is. Right, so now I can click here to kind of select these objects. I'm not super happy about this guy. But it sort of works. It seems like there is some issue with the sizing too. It's like when I start, and then as soon as I move, it clicks in there, and then I gotta do that, which tells me that it's probably a matter of flooring a value, not rounding a value. So let's see what that could be. If I take the right project. So you are Cardboard Crusader. Nice. Good work on those. I'm getting a Rogue Legacy feel on some of those things. So size. Let's make sure we have an actual comment here. It is round to int -1. So that might be it. Now it feels more natural. Okay. Oh, one of the problems would be if I make it too small. But let's say I put a limit on that. Okay. I could see a little bit of Shovel Knight, I guess. The pallets. Now I can't make it smaller than that, and I still move these around. I have multiple. I cannot edit multiple at this time, because that adds a layer of complexity that I'm not really ready for. Yeah, I've attended the live stream sometimes. Been a while though. They were working on some expansion pack, I think, and they were doing level design and a little bit of pixel art. It's really nice. Oh, I can't edit this one now because I have this one selected. That's what the other code is doing. This part here, oh no. Do I need this for anything? Maybe later. But this commented out code here is pretty much switching which tile map we're supposed to use. So what we should get is like, we don't need room. What is this? Is the size, I think. So if we're selecting something out of, I don't think we need this either. We can just do, whoops. Then we have to reset everything, and we say try to find tile grid, and then we try to find the mouse position. I changed this to world, mouse world, I think, and then this is gonna be tm.size x. It's gonna be tm.size y. And then we set this up. So if we're outside of the current one, we can't set anything, but it starts editing another tile map this way, which makes it easier, I think. Right, Simon. This is also, we should swap this to be Z, except in this case, where it's still gonna be Y. And then we take the mouse position and update it just put in a 0 in the center, I think, and then we're good to go. Replace these with Z's. No, it should be this. And then we reset up this thing. It's a little bit weird, but I think that we can now, like, I have this guy selected, and I can still edit that if I want to, or this, but it's not like gonna, yeah, it is a little bit weird, I guess. Okay, that's... Okay, I know what's happening there. This is... If there is a layer cake room and I'm trying to draw outside, that's not applicable to this, I think. Keep pressing the wrong buttons there. Let's add a way to control this. Let's have a tile grid reference, current rect tile grid. So when we're starting a rect, we cannot change the tile grid anymore. So let's see here. Like, this cannot be done while recting, I think. Unfortunately, we gotta nest those. And then it's a little bit annoying, but more or less we cannot. Tile grid is gonna be current rect tile grid if it's not null. We set that up. But can this work without a current tile grid? It probably can't. I think we should replace tile grid in here with current rect tile grid. ETH events, that doesn't matter. And then while I'm doing this, afterwards we need to null this part. Maybe we need that. Let's see. Take it easy, paper. This riff, not bad. We can do this. Kind of add all those things, and if I do it here, it doesn't work anymore. Now I think these are part of. Now I think these are part of. Actually, it sort of did work. Uh, we can do this if current rect tile grid not equals null. That is what we. Otherwise, we pick the tile grid target, and then we just have to make sure that after we release the rect, we set that to null again. We can there's this guy, but I want to edit this to remove it. That now works, and I can also edit this, and I think if I press here and then move it, yeah, it is attached to the right thing, even though it looks like it's editing the wrong. And it would be nice to maybe do a little bit of like, while we're recting. No, actually, regardless, we want to draw another one of these around the object that is currently selected or edited, so we can see which one we're hovering over. Let's draw a white outline around the thing. It is to make templates for hey Mind Rage, by the way. It's to make templates for placing props or maybe even walls inside of these generated rooms. It's the same thing. A lot of the code is copied from the Boomerang game. If you remember what we did there to place like platforms or whatever. And I'm gonna go in like maximum half an hour, maybe slightly less. If current rect tile grid, or rather if whatever, it's fine. We want to draw perception that VARs are bad. VARs are actually really, really good. So what am I doing here? There's something going on somewhere where I'm doing something stupid. What are these? You're pushing more GUI clips than you're popping. Make sure they're balanced. But I'm not... Or what's the... Oh, it seems to happen when I'm doing things outside here. Let's see what Unity says about this. Aha. It's probably that I'm not doing like an end, like GUI change check or something. Because I might be starting a begin chain check and chain check, and then I do this. And when this happens, sometimes it seems... Don't you have any kind of reasonable IDE, Jinmu? You just hover over a var and it tells you what type it is. Like... I don't even have ReSharper. I just use built-in OmniSharp. And it's like, this is a vector 2 int. It's not weird at all. And like return types aren't vars. They're... Hello, Sangris. Yeah, I don't know what your problem is specifically. There might be some issue that I'm not aware of, but yeah. Why? It's probably that this can break or return. What can return early? If not editing, it can return here. But why? If I'm not editing, why? Don't think that's the issue. Why do you need to know the types? So as long as I'm within the currently selected one, this is actually a little bit weird. Because I select here and it works, but the thing there is not updated. Oh yeah, of course. So size needs to be happening after I potentially changed it. Can you not use code lens to make them show what types vars are? I'm just trying to... No, this should be after updating size. So why does it think that the size is 3.4, which is consistent with what we have here, but there's something happening when here this is here and this works. Then I select this guy, and it doesn't work anymore. I select this one. Yeah, there's something going on with... or is that always the case, that there is none? No, it should be there. Potentially, it's the matrix thing I did. We have to do this. Oh, we already do this here too, so... So here it's possible to come back without it, so... Do I even need this? Why do I have that? Oh, this one is positioned at 0, and this one is moved, so it adds... I see. The size... should not have that in there. And this should not have these in there. Because this is drawn in like local space now, or with that matrix. Should be fine to remove these. Mental gymnastics, I'm not sure. What's up, Munglu? Ah, now it works. And then we go here, and now we can even edit the... Ooh, we cannot edit the size. It switches. That's annoying. I can do it if I select it, so... This size thing should only be on the selected one. For simplicity, let's just... Let's do more architects. So we can select these, change it, go here, and then it doesn't like put that there at least. Oh wait, we have lots of null refs now. Because tile grid might be null. How can tile grid be null? Because we do that here. This is if we're outside. we can return instead. Except now it doesn't work. Still weird. Oh, it's weird because it still draws this on top even though we're on the wrong tool. So it works like this. Okay, that's why. So that's why we had the editing escape there. Okay, that works. These are old now, I think. It's still pushing. Oh wait, more null refs here. So there is probably some intermediate step here in the we can't get to those outside, so we got to do that before, which is annoying. But I think I'll go get something to drink. Give me a sec. We got like 10 minutes max. What I would like to see is taking, let's say this is the room or whatever. This is the room. Just place it up here, whatever, maybe over here. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. And then I want to draw in the walls in the room like this. Maybe have some thickness to them. So now we more or less have a room, and then we have a thing that can be placed in the room. So this would match here, for example. But I'm just thinking about ways to not have overlap, because say I want to place something here. So let's say this is the node we're working with. It looks like this. It's got like a 2-layer wall. I guess let's make it even simpler. Let's make it like this. Remove that first, and then so this is a wall that looks like this, and that would fit here, for example. But I also want another one. Wait, that's not it. That's it. That's gonna be fitting this tile, for example. So let's just clear it with doing this. and maybe not even that. Maybe even that. So, oh, see a problem. I want to fill them in slightly. There we go. So now we can see it a little bit clearer. So I want this one. That's gonna be like fitting in there. And that one is gonna be fitting there. But at this point, like, it's gonna... either I'll say like everything inside of this is gonna be marked as already placed. Let's make it even more pedagogical by removing that one too. Okay. So I have a wall here. I want to place it like there, like that. That's gonna match. And then I want to place. I'll try this one, which is also gonna match because that's already placed. So I need to deny that positioning from where I place this. So I'll mark up in some kind of lookup table that these positions are already positioned, or like they're marked as active. I think I need a second layer of like maybe I press Control and click on these to mark them as like marked as already placed. But it doesn't like already like match the floor. Then also when I make a floor tile, you can make it like a 1 or a 2 or whatever. That also doesn't deny the wall to be placed. Or can I make it even simpler and say that only deny the wall stuff? I think I gotta go now, but I'll be back after lunch. It's gonna take a little while, but that's the plan at least. So let's say we say those are now used up. The ones that are filled in, those are now used up. But in the case of the floor, then we gotta like mark those differently if I want to have differently sized. So I'll have a toggle on each thing here that's gonna define how they combine with other things. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna cut the stream here. So let's take a look at the new Twitch. So look, science and technology is almost empty now, which is nice. Let's see, software and game development. Nice. This looks like a lot of game development. I wanna check out Go Pirate. To see how they feel about it. So, yeah, thanks for hanging out this morning. I'll be back in maybe 2 or 3 hours, something like that, and we'll continue this. Maybe I'll do a little bit off stream just to, yeah, whatever. Anyways, hugs and kisses, everyone. I'll be back soon. Thank you. Bye bye.